That sky actually looks so good, I need to go and make a picture. Right, I hope you get to see some of that. That looks absolutely amazing. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, it's Takstar back with another video, and it's so good to be back making videos. I say I'm back from holiday, it's so good to be back, but when you're on holiday you want to be on holiday for the rest of your life, obviously, but it's good to be back making videos. And today we're going to be editing one of the images that I took back in Latvia, because there is much less rain, much less light pollution. There is still light pollution though than here in Scotland, so we're going to be editing a Milky Way image into the Lightroom. So let's make this video very short, very quick, very simple, nothing too fancy. Let's jump into the Lightroom. Before we start any kind of editing, I want to let you know that this image was taken at f2, 10-second exposure, and ISO 8000. It doesn't matter how full frame is your camera. If you're gonna bring out these shadows right here and gonna zoom in, you're gonna be working with absolute Swiss cheese. 8000 is 8000. So if you want to bring it out like this, we're gonna do a version of bright and dark version. Then in its bare minimum you're gonna get quite a lot of noise. So since we brought up these shadows here, I guess we could try and bring these like way up and see what we can do with this image, if we can still save it. We're gonna scroll down all the way to detail, and we're gonna do like 25 noise reduction. Okay, that kinda saved the whole thing. I'm really not sure if it did. We're gonna take a gradual filter from the top, quite low down, and we're gonna try and bump up the clarity. We're gonna try and bump up the dehaze. I'm gonna click done, and now we're gonna bump up the clarity to the whole image. That should bring out the Milky Way a little bit more and a little bit more dehaze. That's gonna make the ground a bit darker, but we can live with that. Now to fix the corners, you can go down all the way to the effect and do the vignetting correction stuff, but it just adds black or white. So like if you want to, you know, fix it, it just looks absolutely hideous. So a way that I figured we could do, dog's eating something, we're just gonna take two gradual filters from the corners, and we're just, oops, and we just lost the filter. Where did it go? There it is. And we're just gonna bring up the exposure of the corners just a little bit, not too much, so it's gonna look hideous. 1.3, click done. Let's select another one, bring down another one like this, and bring it up to about 1.3. This lens does have a lot of vignetting. I haven't done the review on the lens yet because I wanted to make one of these images before I do, you know, for a test purposes. Now let's take the brush tool, and we're gonna be brushing over only the Milky Way area right here for a reason. Let's correct the exposure, and we're gonna be playing around a little bit with highlights, with whites, and dehaze and clarity. Could do a lot of clarity actually. Yeah, that looks pretty good. If we do a little bit of a clarity, we want to bring down a little bit of a saturation, because the dehaze introduces more saturation. So if you use dehaze, you might want to tone down a little bit on saturation. So we're just going to bring down the saturation maybe to about -9. And I guess the last step that we can do, although we already did the noise reduction, I was like, because I usually do noise reduction at the end, but since we did it already, I'm not really happy about this kind of black spot up here. When you've selected your brush tool and you've selected the brush that you want to, you know, adjust, if you hold Alt key, instead of painting, you're going to be erasing. So you can kind of erase the top here and maybe paint just a little bit, so there's not that black spot up there into the corner. If you press Y letter on your keyboard, you're gonna see before and the after. That is our before and that is our after. If you don't want to mess around with this ground, which is really noisy and everything. If we quickly click reset and we leave it black, we're just gonna bring the blacks down a little bit more to make sure the ground is dark and the shadows a little bit more. Obviously that introduces more vignetting, you know how to fix that already. And if you just bump up the clarity, and if you just bump up a little bit of a dehaze is gonna give you even more vignetting, so we might try to not use it actually. Let's see if we can fix this up a tad. Yeah, we're gonna go to about 1.65. That looks slightly better, but yeah, this lens does have a vignetting, specifically when it's wide open. I'm gonna go to 1.65. Okay, that looks a little bit better. The same thing, we're gonna grab the brush tool. I forgot to change the exposure, so I can't see where I'm brushing at the moment. There's probably a key binding that you can see if you hold shift. No, I don't know. There's probably a key binding. If you hold some key, then you can see where have you painted. So we painted over here. Okay, we want a little bit more here. Okay, fix the exposure, add a little bit of clarity, do the highlights a little bit, not too much, so it's gonna look like this, absolutely hideous. And maybe a bit of a contrast. Yeah, contrast, that did help a bit. And dehaze with a little bit of a like minus, let's do, I don't know, -7 of saturation, and click done. There we go. We did not use the noise reduction this time, but we're gonna use it still. A little bit less than we did before. I can't find it suddenly under the detail. I'm gonna use about 18, let's say 18 should be pretty good. If you want to add the general color to the image, you can do a vibrant. Even if you hit Y, that's the before, that's the after. Really quick video. If you're new to my channel, consider subscribing. Check around for more of my videos for photo, video editing tips and tricks, YouTube tips and tricks and tech stuff and general vlogging. And yeah, you might like some of my content, so join the train and subscribe, like and comment if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.